Buckley.
Has done it again for the 9th time.
Strike to claim it, and he got it! Bowling history. The only player ever to win 5 U.S. Opens.
There are very few bowlers who have had the same level of consistency as Roy Buckley.
And the Buckeye makes a strike in the 5th frame.
With his dominance in the 1970s, he became one of 2 bowlers to make over $30,000 in earnings on the PBA Tour, won 7 titles in the span of 10 years, and was a 2-time first-team USBC All-American.
If you watched Roy bowl on the clips, Roy didn't really look like he could beat you from any particular place on the lane. And as Roy Buckley evolved, you realized that from anywhere on the lane, from the first arrow to inside the 4th arrow, Roy Buckley could beat you. The first bowler to bowl 1600 for 6-game block was Roy Buckley. And it wasn't from in the track, 2nd arrow, lanes never changed. He did it from the 4th arrow, throwing what they would call then a fallback, and the 4-7 went straight back. 60 frames, it probably went straight back 40 times. That's how accurate he was. That's how he could just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. That's what, to me, made him just a superstar. When you take his body of work for a period of close to 10 years, 5, 6, 7 years in a row in the top 10 money winners, 5 shows in a row, All-Americans, 7-time winner. That's a superstar to me.
Buckley's brilliance extended beyond just individual triumphs. In both 1975 and 76, he led his team Mussingware to 2 Open Championships titles.
Burton and I are just talking, and he says, hey, let's just form our own team. We like to bowl together. You room with me. I said, okay, who do we get? He goes, I said, well, we got to get Roy Buckley. That team was put together in this house, right where I'm sitting. So we bowled together the first year. We made the top 6 it was. The next year in Oklahoma City, we put it on them. Out of the 30 bowlers in the roll-off, 6 teams of 5. I was second with 680, and I think Roy had about 740. It was pretty good team.
As consistent as he was on the lanes, Buckley also maintained that same level of consistency in his personal life as a dedicated family man.
Excellent. Wow. Looking at Alice and Angela. What are they having? His wife and daughter?
He would be gone for a couple weeks at a time. That was kind of the rule. He really shouldn't be gone more than 3 weeks at a time. He and Mom agreed because that was too hard. To us, that was normal. I didn't answer the phone because we just didn't talk to each other while he was traveling. That was how we dealt with not being together. You know, that was just easier for us not to talk to each other. If he would call home and I would answer the phone, he'd go, what are you doing answering the phone? I'm like, Mom, it's Dad, you know, that kind of thing. His whole life was bowling, but it wasn't all of who he was. It's just what he did.
He was probably the best grandpa ever. You know, he always just made sure we had fun, teach us little things like about life or just little things in general.
He kind of convinced me to bowl. I didn't necessarily want to do it right away, but he encouraged me to do it. And it was after my dad died. I was starting to get into things I probably shouldn't. He was like, when you go back to school, you're gonna go on the bowling team. And I was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, yeah, you are. And it ended up being really fun. It was probably one of the best things that I ever did, and it changed like our entire relationship.
Buckley was inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame in 1992 and passed away at the age of 77 in 2021. But his overall impact on the sport of bowling will never be forgotten.
But he never made it about him or about what he did. If he was here, he would appreciate it, but if you were to go up to him, like, he would have never told you.
Humility and wisdom were his biggest things. And if you came up to him and asked him about himself, he'd probably give you a piece of life advice before he ever told you his accolades in life.
His greatest bowling achievement to all of us was his consistency. And that's what bowling is about today. The best bowlers of today, they're the most consistent.
This brings it full circle. He's in the local Hall of Fame, he's in the state Hall of Fame, he's in the PBA Hall of Fame. Now he'll finally be in the National Hall of Fame. And even with Mom's dementia, you know, I went and I told her the other day when I was visiting, Roy's finally making it into the Hall of Fame for the USBC, the National Bowling Association. And she goes, "That's beyond wonderful." And she teared up, and that's a good way to put it. It's beyond wonderful.